hadn't been one because I hadn't been there yet. I was very, very focused on the class of 2020 tight ends. And just kind of where I was, I didn't get a chance to really get into Oklahoma. I've had some relationships with some coaches, with some players there that I've been able to reach out to, and there's been a very warm reception just because my reputation there has been good. The guys that I know there, I've known for a while. They just kind of know what I've done and who I am as a person. So it's been good. I look forward to getting there this spring. I look forward to recruiting Central Arkansas. I look forward to getting into Texas too. But I do look forward to getting into Oklahoma and really have a strong presence there. Thanks, Danny. You know, the biggest thing, and I was just telling Daniel this, is really the way that he plays. You can tell that he's been well coached, and he's trying to do what he's coached to do. And I think that's a really big thing in recruiting right now. And it's kind of gotten overwhelmed with numbers. And is he 4'4"? Is he 4'5"? Is he 6'4.5"? Is he 6'2.5"? When you look at guys that can take coaching, you look at guys that are trying to do what they're coached to do and are playing with confidence because they've paid attention to what they're coached to do. And I think that's something he does really well. He comes from a great program. It's had some great players and is going to continue to have great players. And he comes from a good family. And the fact that he, again, just getting to know him a little bit that I did, his passion and love for the state and the University of Arkansas, I think speaks volumes of who he's going to be as a kid and as a player.
Coming from UCF up here to Northwest Arkansas,
Sure.
The transition like was a whirlwind.
There's not as many palm trees, but it's great. And again, like I was talking to Danny, Oklahoma's kind of become home. I grew up in Colorado, but the climate, the culture is similar to the state of Oklahoma. I've known about Arkansas since I was coming out in high school and know the blue blood program that it is. And I've been very happy with the few days that I've actually gotten to stay in Arkansas. We found some cool places to go and hang out, and the facilities and the people are amazing. The fan base, again, the little interaction that we've had has been awesome. The support has been unbelievable, like nothing I've ever been around. So it's been great. It absolutely has been great.
What do you think you've got in your tight ends room right now, and you got to know Hudson?
You know, I know their names. That's about it. I've watched them work out a little bit. I've gotten to talk to them on the phone a little bit, just gotten to know their personalities. They're hungry to work. And that's what I hear from the people that have been held over on the staff, that they're hard workers. They're going to do what you ask them to do. They want to play, they want to succeed, and they want to be coached. And that's something that excites me. Again, seeing them bench press and squat and all that kind of stuff, it only tells you so much besides they're willing to work. And they're big, strong kids. They've got good bodies for what we're going to ask them to do, which helps. It doesn't mean they can do it, but I firmly believe we're going to have some guys in that room that are going to be able to play and help us a lot.
What can you tell us about Colin that you just signed?
You know, the biggest thing about Colin that I was just talking about is the way he plays. He's a really good football player already at 18 years old. He understands leverage. He understands pad level. He understands demeanor of what this position really takes. And he's got a prototypical SEC, NFL type tight end body. He's long. He's 6'4.5", probably closer to 6'5". He plays strong. You can tell in his legs, he's got some powerful legs, but he's got a lot of room to grow too. I think his potential is really high. And with the early signing period, recruiting kind of changes. If you don't commit somewhere early, it kind of slows stuff down, and then it speeds back up after the first signing period. And that's kind of what's happened to him without being able to go to some camps, without having a huge junior year. But if you watch his senior film, he's as good as a lot of tight ends across the country in this class.
You know, he had an older brother that went to Texas A&M offensive
Correct.
lineman. Can you tell that he's had that to grow up around, growing up around football?
You know, he's got toughness. You know, I don't know Keaton at all. I know Coach Pittman does, and Coach Pittman knows the family. And again, it speaks volumes about Coach Pittman that their family remembered and loved him so much from his recruitment of Keaton, even though he didn't go and play for him, that they still knew and respected and wanted their son to come and play for him. I think it is huge, and it tells a lot about Coach Pittman. And again, you'll hear from all the other assistant coaches a lot of the same things, which it just kind of backs it up. And not that he needs that affirmation, but it just shows time and time again the kind of man that he is.
Have you talked to Coach Briles about kind of what kind of role the tight end's going to have in this offense?
Well, the past 4 years we've been running the same offense. We did the same thing at UCF. We did the same thing at Missouri the past 2 years I was there. So I've been in this offense a while. I am very excited to get to learn from the guy that knows it better than anybody else in the country, because there's different versions of what we do. And I say we because I've been doing it for a while. I know a bunch of the guys and Coach Briles. I've known Coach Briles for a long time. So I know a lot of the offense, but the guy that's ran it the best, that's had the most success, not necessarily every year, but year in and year out, what he's done. I'm really excited to learn the intricacies of what he does day in and day out to make this offense really run the way that it's supposed to be run.
You know, Arkansas has had a pretty good run of tight ends
Sure.
the last decade or so.
Sure.
I mean, does that kind of, whenever you're asked to coach this position group at Arkansas,
Yeah.
does that kind of add something to it?
Oh, absolutely. The tradition here is unmatched, and like I say in the recruiting process, when you step on campus here, it doesn't make you a better tight end because you're at Arkansas. You have to live up to it, and the guys like CJ and Hunter Henry, and I know I'm going to miss a bunch of them, but there's a whole bunch of them, like you said, the past decade that are really good players, that there's some pride to it. And you get to watch those guys and see them have success, that they're going to try to live up to it. And that's the biggest thing about it. Those guys having success doesn't mean the next guy will. Just because they played for somebody doesn't mean the next guy will. But I do think there's a sense of pride, just like you wear the Razorback on your chest when you play that position and step in that meeting room. You're expected. There's a high level of expectations for those guys.
You're one of several assistants on this staff that Coach Pittman hired that have an offensive line background.
Sure.
You know, he's an offensive line coach.
Yeah.
He told me that it was just kind of he didn't realize it was a coincidence. But
Right.
do you think there's honestly a little bit of something there, that, offensive lineman, offensive line coach kind of connection there?
Well, I do think it is a very special position, and anyone that's coached or played it has a little special place for each other in their hearts. But I don't. You look at coaches around the country, you don't necessarily play or coach the same position that you've played or coached before. You get in this profession to learn football, and if you just know one position, you're not going to be a very good coach. And again, not that you can coach any position on the field, but you got to be able to be multiple in what you do. If you just understand and put yourself in a bubble, you're not going to be a great offensive coach. I should be able to go into the receivers room, the running back room, quarterback room, and be able to answer any questions that they have. And we're going to expect that of all the coaches on offense, because we all need to have a complete understanding, not just putting yourself in a bubble. We're going to ask our kids to have an understanding of our entire offense, not just put them in a bubble. So I think the complete understanding of what we do is really important.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Yeah.
When did Sam reach out to you about coming to Arkansas? What was that discussion?
Oh, geez. So the first person I heard from was Coach Briles, because we had a prior relationship, and he asked if I'd be interested. Because again, just like every other coach does, there were other opportunities for me, and he wanted to know if it's something that I would want to do or be interested in. And before I think he finished the question, I said yes, because we've had a prior relationship. He's such a good man and a good leader of men, and I look up to him as a person and a little bit of a mentor. We haven't worked together, so I guess it's kind of hard to say that, but just seeing what he's done and the relationships he's built with his players and his coaches and support staff that he's worked with, and the reputation he has, is really something that I look forward to working with. And so it really wasn't a hard decision for me. It was hard to leave some of the people I was around, because they're good, close friends of mine, people that are mentors of mine, and I do owe a lot to them in the profession, but it was good for me to get with Coach Briles. And like I was saying before, he's really the innovator of this offense that, to me, it's the best offense in the country, and the numbers speak for themselves. And everywhere he's been, and really everywhere we've been running the offense, has had a lot of success. Doesn't always say, hey, you win a championship the first year you're in the offense, but we're going to score points and we're going to have success on offense.
I know you haven't been with the guys a lot yet, but has anyone stood out to you? Have any guys kind of stood out as leaders?
You know, it's hard to say. It really is. I don't want to just make something up just because you're asking the question. But we're short on numbers in the room. Hudson's done a great job. Blake Kern's done a great job. Nathan Bax, all of them have reached out to me on several different occasions when I'm on the road. Just, hey, Coach, glad you're here. Like, is there anything I can do? And we haven't even met as a staff on the offense yet. And I don't want to start telling them stuff that we might tinker with, again, without working with Coach Briles. I want to make sure we're all on the same page before I tell them, hey, go work on this route or go work on this footwork. But they're all trying to lead in our room. I want to make sure they're leading on the offensive unit and as a team and as a person and as a young man in this in this team and in this locker room, but they're all doing a great job of trying to get those 4 guys, them and Johnson Bowman is who we have in the tight end room. They're trying to get themselves better, which I think is a good first step.